Okay, I want to say good evening and welcome to tonight's session. And we're going to be talking about minutes of meeting in a project, how important its significance, and how to uh, capture a very good minutes of a meeting. Like I said earlier, is something we don't attach value to. I know so many of us don't attach value to it, but it's a very good way to start your career as a project manager or business analyst or IT, because whichever area you are going to be meeting with a lot of people, you're going to be meeting with stakeholders, vendors, different kind of people, you are going to be meeting them. And it's good you have record. So this meeting, minutes of the meeting is record. Record, every meeting must have an agenda. So why are we having the meeting? And who is participating in the meeting? And what are the key decisions taken in the meeting? And what are the takeaway in the meeting? What are the next action? If you are meeting, or the meeting is not such, it doesn't look this way, then it's not a good way to document important decisions in your project. So let's look at it from our lesson notes. Yeah, looking at our lesson notes, we plan to understand the importance of project meeting minutes and learn how to structure and write effective meeting minutes and identify the best practice for recording, distributing, and using minutes of the meeting. So let's understand what is this minutes of the meeting. I know all of us know what it is, but what if some of us do not know what it is? So meeting minutes are official record of the discussions, decisions, action items, and within a meeting, and they serve as a reference document to ensure accountability and alignment among stakeholders. So minutes of the meeting is not something we will play around. It's very, very important document. If you look at governments around the world, even international organizations, even UNO, we talk about treaties. Treaties all the time, they make a reference to treaties, meeting held at, so even before so many of us were born. If you're into, history or international politics or a lot of things, you know the importance of minutes. These are key decisions taken at some important meeting. If they didn't have record or capture it very well, they wouldn't be making reference to it that way. So, and in our project, it's very, very important. If we have key minutes of the meeting taking the decision, even with the stakeholders, if a stakeholder comes saying, even if you don't have a project charter, which stated a lot of things in it, if a stakeholder comes and starts saying this and that, you always remember when a meeting happened, when decision was taken that this is the amount of deliverable we are going to capture in this project, that this is the scope within this project. You can make references. When you pull out a document like this, where you see key stakeholders taking decision that this is what we need to achieve, or for instance, in this our expansion project, I had a meeting with you guys during the kickoff meeting. We agreed and said that this we're all implementing in Port Harcourt. For instance, we're already in Port Harcourt. We want to expand in Lagos. We want to expand in Ibadan. We want to expand in. So then we'll have an agreement and it's recorded. So that is the importance. So it serves as a reference document. That is the meaning of all this blah, 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 blah I'm trying to speak here. Reference document is very important. Reference documents to ensure accountability and alignment among project stakeholders. So nobody will, after a meeting has been held and everything recorded, you cannot come and start saying that Mr. Charles said. You have to say that in a meeting held on so date, it was agreed that this is what should be happening, not that Mr. D said this or I think. You don't think because you already have an agreement. So that is what means of the meeting. That's the simplest description of what it is. What are the importance of meeting minutes? Number one is documentation. Provide a historical record of decisions and action. If you have a sequential record, if you keep your minutes of the meeting as it happens, somebody who goes through that will know how you arrive at where you are within your project, because it's a historical data. And it's very, very important. The world today, everything we are doing today is based on data, historical information. You know, so many of us believed in this. We even the Christmas that is approaching, we want to start celebrating Christmas. It's based on what historical information that were kept. We agreed and we start flowing. So a lot of things we do today is based on historical record. So, and it's very, very important. It's equally provides clarity, ensures all participants are clear on the meeting outcome and next step. I've seen a meeting where after the meeting, some people will be asking their co-meeting attendants, what are the decisions? That I didn't even understand the outcome of this meeting. It happens a lot, you know. How many of you have seen such a situation? After attending a meeting, you don't even understand the outcome of the meeting. Have any of you witnessed that? You know, it's because there is no structure. It happens a lot. You finish a meeting and you don't even know the outcome. It happens a lot. So to avoid such situation, if you are a smart project manager or a smart BA, when you start planning your meeting, you are planning how to capture your meeting. You are already planning what needs to be captured. You're already making provisions for key takeaway. So that's why you must have a template for minutes of the meeting. So if you have a template as a smart BA or a project manager, at the column where there is, they say, key action taken or key takeaway or next step, there should be information filled within that column. So if you are waiting for something to be said for you to fill that column and nothing is said, you have to ask a question. What is the key takeaway? And if whoever is organizing the meeting is so unorganized, then the person, you have to bring the person back to order. And that is why it's important, clarity. Everybody is clear about the outcome. You know what we have agreed. Say, what do you think Mr. Charles wants us to do, sir, after being part of a meeting? You know, when we came to this country new, I'll tell you this story. This guy, he told me, because he'd been here before us, he told me, Charles, when they are doing a briefing, that's a briefing, meeting brief, every time we want to start a work, we have a briefing. He said, you have to listen well so that you understand what they are saying. It's very, very important. And I was so, I couldn't stop laughing after the meeting when we were going. The guy came to, I didn't even understand what they were saying. Did you all know what they want us to do today? I mean, because there is no clarity. He is the person that telling me to stay attentive. But at the end of the meeting, he himself did not understand even what we are meant to, what are we going to do today. We just finished a meeting, and that briefing is to tell us what we are going to do today, what we are meant to achieve. And we concluded that meeting. Everybody is proceeding to their various workplace. And some of us do not even understand what we are going to do today. If at this point, and to be honest to you too, those days, me too, I didn't understand what we are meant to do. And, we are just proceeding to our various workplace, none of us, another thing which is our challenge then is that we are struggling to understand their accents, So these are a lot of things. So, but if it is now, I will not leave that environment without understanding what I'm meant to do. Because we are in a meeting, and that meeting is for us to understand what we are meant to do. And now we are leaving to start our work, and we don't know what we are going to do. So, you see the importance? That's after a meeting, everybody should be clear of the outcome and next step. So accountability, that's another importance. Assign responsibility for action items. So using that scenario as an example, so many of us, because we're having a meeting with project managers, so they believe they have assigned responsibilities on what we are going to do. But so many of us, which they believe they've assigned responsibility, do not even understand what we are going to do. So, but if you really in a meeting, and at the end of the meeting, you must know your own involvement, what is requested of you, because that's why you are part of that meeting. You cannot be in a meeting while you don't know what to do next. Even if at the end of the meeting it was agreed that you are not doing anything, then you know that you are not doing anything. But for you to come out of a meeting and you don't know the next step, then it's not a meeting. It's a bad meeting. So another importance is continuity. Keeps absent stakeholders informed about what transpired. Here, that is it. So, minutes of this, like I said, in some meetings, some people will be looking at you, but they are not following. They are not following you, looking at them. They are looking. At the end of the day, they will come and ask you what happened. Well, if I've kept record or followed when my friend were asking me what are they saying self? I would have been, but all of us were not saying so. Couldn't say, but in a very good meeting, everybody should be on the same page, you know. So if you have a good record, good minutes of the meeting, it should keep absent stakeholder in the form of what transpired. So like some of us that didn't attend, they can follow up. Those that are absent-minded, because absence can come in such a way, you can be absent, bodily absent, that you didn't attend the meeting. And another absent is absent-minded. They are there, but they are not following. So whichever absent, a good record or good minutes should be able to, keep us on the go of what is going on. And compliance act as evidence of decision and agreement made during the project. When you come and say, during our kickoff meeting, we agreed that this is what we are going to do, and at the end of the day, we managed to capture everything very well. And when it's time for signing off the project, the business analyst went to the client or the project sponsor to receive a sign-off form closing the project, and they start saying, I'm not satisfied. This is not what we agreed. I wanted the interface to be green or yellow or this. You can make a reference to the initial agreement. Is it not what we agreed on? So you see, it's very, very important. But so many times we just, I see many of you, very quickly a meeting will have already started. You see WhatsApp call will start flying around, people will be joining, start joining. I'll just be laughing. At the end of the day, you people will finish the meeting and you come out not having anything tangible. It's because you didn't have plan for that meeting. Any meeting you have a plan must have a good minutes. So what are the components of an effective meeting minutes? Number one, meeting detail. Date, time, location, meeting time. Example, project kickoff meeting, review, and attendees. So that is the detail. Agenda. This is number two component. Every meeting must have an agenda item. Topics discussed during the meeting. How many of us do have agenda of what we need to talk about? I've seen so many of us, we just start a meeting, but no agenda. Key discussions, summary of important discussions, decisions and agreements, action items, tasks assigned, deadline, and responsible person. After every meeting, the purpose of the meeting is to achieve something. So, and to achieve that, within that meeting, we should assign responsibilities to those that will help us to achieve the purpose of why we gathered. And we have a deadline. When are we reporting back based on what we agreed? Deadlines. And who is doing that? After the meeting, you don't leave it open. Somebody must have the responsibility to do the task, whatever task we've agreed on. It must be assigned to some people. Decision made, specific decision agreed upon during the meeting. If a meeting ends in chaos, like you will see a lot in most of these political parties, once they go, you see them fighting, or even so it will be obvious that the meeting end up in chaos. Yeah, that will be recorded that it ended up in chaos because of that. But you cannot finish a meeting, everybody is smiling, carrying a cup of tea from the meeting and smiling, or bottle of water, with your laptop, as somebody who have just attended the important meeting, and you don't even know what is agreed upon. The meeting, looking at everybody is smiling. So, the meeting didn't end up in chaos. So there should be agreed upon. Even if we couldn't reach a conclusion on some issues, it will be stated that we couldn't reach a conclusion. That is a decision made, and we have to look at it on the next meeting scheduled on so day. That is a decision. And then next step, immediate action or follow-up required after the meeting. So every meeting must have a, next step. So, and those next steps, most of the time we already assign it to some people who take off. So we must know what are we doing next. And then miscellaneous note, any additional observation or notes relevant to the meeting can equally be captured. So these are components. If you don't want to come out from a meeting and you come and start asking Mr. Charles, what do we even agreed on this meeting? It must not be a project manager or a secretary should keep a note, a minute. Everybody have the capacity. While the meeting is going on, you have your own note, taking minutes of your own meeting. You are guided. Even if you are not a project manager, you are a business analyst, you have something, you are a stakeholder, and that's why you are in that meeting. So when that meeting is going on, everybody should be taking notes. And after then, you won't have the reason to come and start asking me what happened in a meeting. You are there drinking pure water and eating garden egg. Okay. Steps. Step-by-step guide for writing this mini meeting. First thing is to prepare before the meeting, understand the agenda, review the meeting agenda and key decision points. Use a template, like I said. If you have a template, if you are missing something, looking at your template, you know that you are missing something, because a template prepared is just for you to, a template is something like this agenda with this kind of component, you can call it a template. So with this, when you see it's time to write the next step, if it's vacant, you know that something should be there, and that is become a reminder for you to do what you are not going to miss anything. But if you don't have a template, you just you want to be very proactive. You came with a note because you don't want to ask anybody what is the decision taking. You might be writing, but you might be writing off points. You might be writing, you might not capture the important thing. What if the presenter or the people did not agree on anything and you are just writing what they are saying? You are not don't just transcribe or write everything they are saying. When somebody laughs, you say, after a brief talk from Mr. A, Mr. C laughed. Why are you writing that? So, saying that somebody laughed in a meeting, or all those things are not important. It shouldn't be captured. You don't need to capture some of all those things. So that's why we need to have templates, so that we are guided on the kind of information we extract from the meeting. Not everything. Even when a glass cup fell down and broke, you say, Mr. Charles wanted to pick a glass cup, but he fell down. Some people capture something like that in their minutes of the meeting, but you shouldn't. Then number 2, record during the meeting. Note essentials. Capture key points and action. Avoid, I've just said it now, avoid transcribing every word. You know, a glass of cup fell down and everybody laughed. And, you know, while we were trying to laugh, you know, water, a glass of something. No, all those things, even when there is a joke, you capture joke. No. So, and know when the important people are talking. So identify speakers, attribute key statement to the relevant individuals. There's are people who are expecting to say something, and you should be careful, try to know what they are saying. So for instance, now I just had a requirement gathering meeting with one group, and in that requirement gathering, if you are part of that requirement gathering session, everybody wants to understand what the project sponsor wants to say. You know, so you must identify key speakers, attribute key statement to the relevant individuals. You know, highlight action item, record who is responsible, who needs to be done, what needs to be done, and the deadlines. That is important items. You must record all those things. Review and finalize. Clarify details, review on clear points with participants if necessary. There is need for you to ask questions. A meeting is not a script that you come to run a script or you follow. It's a meeting. A meeting is for people to collaborate, share ideas, brainstorm, find a solution, a common, you know, ground, agree on something. That is a meeting. There should be understanding. If there is no understanding, everybody should be in the same page after a meeting. If some people are not on the same page with others, meaning that some people didn't understand what's going on, then the outcome is not good enough. So everybody should be on the same page. So if you have a question, you should be able to ask questions. So if there's something unclear, it should be reviewed. Use clear language. The language you use should be very clear. Let me tell you, if you come in a meeting because you are a project manager and you feel like because you want to speak good English, okay, I will use this Nearest expansion project. You are a seasoned project manager from Digital Technology Business School, top business school in the world, and you are highly packaged, a brand new consultant, and find yourself in Alaba market. You know, you want to capture some vendors, some food vendors within that environment. You start speaking pidgin English, you are wasting your time because you are not communicating. Somebody who goes down and starts speaking broken English, pidgin, how far? You know, this thing will come day here today now, make we tell you see this our platform now, Ubonge platform. We will see if you enter this platform, your wallet don't end. That person is making more because now they will start listening. They'll pay attention because you use Ubonge. But if you come telling them, you start bending your voice for them to know that you just arrived from London, they're not even understanding some of them. So what is this guy even trying to form? They will not pay that. So the point I'm making here that you should be able to communicate. Use the language everybody will understand. Use clear language. Ensure document is concise, professional, and easy to read. People should understand your communication. If you are writing, people should be able to write, understand even what you documented. You don't need to use heavy vocabulary, big vocabulary. Use simple English. If you need to use English, whatever you need, if it's French, whatever, it must be very simple. That's what we call user-friendly. Everything we do today is about user-friendly. No matter how good application is, and those people that are meant to use that application are struggling to use it, that application is not good. Because it's not user-friendly. They don't know how to use it. Okay. Distribute the meeting, the minutes. Timely sharing. Send meeting minutes within 24 to 48 hours. Every meeting, all the participants of that meeting, when you finish the minutes of the meeting, it should be distributed so that people will, that's what we call validation. People will agree that this is that you captured what they discussed. And secure approval. Circulate for review and confirmation from key attendees if required. If that meeting is something that needs to proceed, maybe to action based on what is captured there, key stakeholders must agree to it. You can, through email, you send back them to their various email for them to review, and they'll give you thumbs up. Yes, we're happy. That's it. That is validation, is a meeting, and you just documented the outcome of the meeting. So for it to be a working document, it must be approved and store for future references. There should be a folder for minutes of the meeting. Every project, you must have a dedicated folder. So when something goes, you just rush there. You bring it out. Also, so everybody will see it. And it's even approved by you, the project sponsor. What are you talking about? So there should be centralized location, save minutes in a shared repository for easy access. Like in our project, all of us are going to have access to our Freed camp. In our Freed camp, we'll have a repository, we'll have where we save our documents there. I showed all of you. You can go there, create a folder in your Freed camp repository. Just if you see there, you see the way I created so many folders when I was, taking you guys around. You can create a folder, call it minutes of the meeting. So every meeting, you just go there. So when someone is complaining, I didn't attend that meeting, the person go to the repository, the person can download a copy of the minutes of the meeting and go through, see what key decision made. So let's look at the template. If you want a very concise, portable, you can use this template. The template said field and details. The meeting title example, because it's a template, is a full tracker expansion, status updates. This can be a status update meeting. So that's it. And date and time, 21st November 2024 by slow time 10 a.m. Location, Zoom meeting. If it's not Zoom meeting, it can be conference room A or conference room B or so place or that. Attendees, you list of participants, agenda, brief overview of discussion topics, key discussion, summarize points from the discussion, decision made, specific outcome of the meeting, action item, task, responsible person, and deadline. Next meeting detail, date, time, and the purpose of the next meeting. So that next meeting, but you already know the purpose of that next meeting. Maybe to review the task or the outcome from the responsible person. So that is a very, you don't need to have just a very simple something, but you are going to save you a lot of headache. Very simple. So let's look at an example. In this example, we have the meeting title, Vendor Onboarding Strategy for Food Truck Expansion, date and time, 21st November 2024, time 2 p.m. Location, Microsoft team. Attendees, project manager, logistic team, vendor relation officer, and IT lead. And then agenda, discuss vendor onboarding challenges, finalize logistic partnership. Key discussion, delay in onboarding, need for automation in vendor registration process. Decision made, 1, automate vendor registration within 2 weeks, and 2, partner with local logistic companies. Action items, vendor relation officer, assigning person. You see now you have a vendor relation officer to finalize contract by 30th November. IT lead to propose automation tool by 25th November. Next meeting detail, follow up on progress on 28th November 2024, time 3 p.m. With this small note here, you are a top-notch project manager. You made it very simple, but it's very powerful. Okay, like if you guys have been watching my lesson notes, I provide you with a lot of templates here. So many of you will later start asking me, Mr. Charles, after sending my, how can I get templates for minutes of the meeting? Everything is in your notes. I make sure that at times I'll provide examples and and some people will still coming back to ask me about the template. So after this note, don't think this is just a note. A lot of notes comes with what you need to do, which most of the note is a working document for you in this career, because it tells you everything step by step on how to do it and even provide a template for you. So if you are going to be thinking that you're going to come and everything is here for you already. I'm just trying to tell you that you see all these templates, you have to be, you have to take it very, very seriously. So, and For some of these ones I've not uploaded, I'll make sure that everything uploaded so that you don't have to be coming to complain about template. Okay. Let's continue to best practice. So in terms of best practice, focus on key points. Avoid unnecessary detail. I stated this from the beginning. Don't write that a glass fell down and break. It's unnecessary. Don't write all the icebreakers. You know, they are not necessary. You know, stick to discussion and actions. Be neutral. Write objectively without bias. Use standard template is very important. Now we have a template. If you feel my template is not good enough, you can get a better one, but it's good to have a template. So, but if you are using a template, if my own is not good enough, make sure that whatever is bringing it must be better than my own. So, and template will help you to maintain consistency across meeting. So be prompt, share the minutes as soon as possible to ensure relevance, encourage feedback, allow participants to review and confirm details. And that's it. I know you need these minutes of the meeting as soon as possible. So your project kickoff meeting for the Food Tracker expansion project, you have to use templates, and you need to assign role, and yeah, record the minutes of the meeting during the kickoff meeting and draft a concise document based on the key discussions. So conclusively, meeting minutes are a critical tool for documenting project discussion, decision, and action. And the effective one ensures clarity, accountability, and align across all project stakeholders. So, thank you. I was hoping I would just rush this, but I just didn't want to rush it again because it's something, a document we need to use. You know, some of you might be having some meetings 3 times in a week, because after having a class with me, now the project is having, some of you will be having up to like 3 meetings in a week. And all these meetings, don't just go and have a meeting. You are wasting your time if you don't document the meeting this way as a professional. You can just collaborate to chat, you know, that's different. But when you say you're having a meeting, make sure you have a meeting like a pro. You know, I'm telling you, it's very, very important. And if you have any question based on this, don't come back and start asking Wanko Namaka, what did the child say self? And he does not understand what this Mr. Charles is saying. Just be here telling us it. So if you know you have a question, ask your question. So before you start asking, Mr. Charles could himself. For those that hear you, what I said is waiting Charles the young self. For you to say, for some of you will now say Charles is abusing us. That is what I thought. I say waiting Charles here and self. All right. We have Adeniji Adiola. You want to ask what Mr. Charles here? Okay, we have Rufus Chinedu. Okay. Okay, no Rufus. We have.
Sorry, sir. I'm available. I didn't know. I thought you were just running through the number of people that.
Okay, you want make we fry egg for you?
No, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for the class. I had 3 questions, but I've compressed them to 2 when I got one of the answers as you were talking. The first question is, in a meeting, either maybe with project sponsors, stakeholders, etc. I know a project manager ought to take minutes, and I know some other persons too can take minutes of the meeting. But most times, since we are training as project managers and business analysts as well, and some of us might also be professionals in 1 or 2 other things, and some of these things might be overwhelming when having meetings. Are meetings of this magnitude delegatable to some other persons that, okay, since you're in my team, please take the minutes of the meeting. I will get copies of it later. If there's need for amendment, I do that. That's my first question. Is it something one can delegate? Then the second question is, who determines when a meeting should be held? Like when a meeting should hold, who determines it? Is it the stakeholders, the business analyst, or project manager, or who? That's my second question, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Well, there's what we call delegation. Delegation of duties. So a duty can be delegated. The project manager have the capacity to assign responsibility to any team member. You feel that they can do it. And every team member, even a developer, should have the capacity to write minutes of the meeting. Somebody who just, a smart boy who just finished secondary school can write a minutes of the meeting. Just if with a template, especially with a template, the point I'm making is that if a project manager is busy presenting, you don't need to be writing all those things. So somebody should be taking a meeting, the minutes of the meeting. We have project team. So if you are a project manager and maybe you want to have a meeting with stakeholders, maybe none of your team members are part of the meeting, you can go with your business analyst. Even if the business analyst is not supposed to be the meeting, you have the power to decide who is in your meeting. The meeting is your meeting. A business analyst have his own meeting. Like requirement gathering session is business analyst meeting. You decide whom to invite and whom not to. Is your meeting. So nobody have the right. A project manager will not have rights to tell you why are you inviting this person in your meeting. If you are meeting, you are the business analyst. You want to capture requirement. You want to do data collection. So you are a professional in that area. The project manager must make sure that have you done your requirement gathering? Have you collected the data you need to collect? How you go about doing it? Although if they feel that you are not doing it the right way, they have right to raise alarm that you don't know how to do that. But the point I'm making is that as a business analyst, you can invite people that in a meeting. Project manager can decide the people to attend in a meeting. So project manager do not have to come all the time to tell you what to do. They're only going to start raising eyebrow, raising alarm if they've spotted that you don't know what you are doing. But once they know you know what you are doing, they don't be coming to be querying why are you doing it this way. I hope I've captured or responded to you very well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So the second question, sir, you didn't touch it.
Which one is the second?
But who convenes a meeting?
I've already answered your question. I said that business analysts or project manager have the right to call a meeting.
Okay, sir.
You have the right, even developers have the right to call a meeting. You call a meeting when you want something done within your, even small tasks you are doing. If you are struggling, you can call a meeting for clarification. And nobody will come and tell you because, I'm a developer and I'm coding. At some point, I get confused. I can put a call across maybe few developers or even few project manager to have a session with a project manager for clarification, or with a business analyst for clarification. So a developer can call a meeting. If there is a requirement that is a bit vague, they need more information, they will call a business analyst to come and clarify. You see, they have called a meeting and they should be able to know what they want to capture in that meeting. So this document is a generic document, and this process is a generic process. It's not only for business analysts, it's not only for project manager, it's for everybody that want to call a meeting. Even if you are in National Assembly, even if you are in a school, even if you are anywhere you are calling a meeting, this workshop is for you, and this documentation is for you, and this template is for you. It's not only for business analysts, it's not only for project managers, it's not only for developers.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've called Augustine, but he didn't respond.
Yeah, no, you haven't called me.
Okay,
You didn't call me. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sir Charles. Good evening.
Okay.
For writing
waiting.
down this minute, I would like to know the templates, the documents that one can use to do that.
You can use a Word document. The main thing is that you don't need simple documents. You see the main thing that information is captured.
Yeah.
And the simpler, the better.
Okay.
The simpler, the better. Don't make things too ambiguous or so complex for yourself. So
okay.
All you need, if you want to, if from this lesson note, if you want to extract a template from this lesson, all you need to do is you copy it, copy the area you want, and open a fresh Word document and paste it there. That is a template already. You start using it for your various meetings.
Okay.
And you have a very good record of your activities. So don't say that I didn't introduce this thing early enough. You can start from your kickoff meeting, and that is what, if you look at the end, the activities that when you are doing your kickoff meeting, you use it.
Okay.
If anyone always came in.
Good evening, Mr. Charles.
Okay, okay, good. You can.
My voice is bad. I'm trying not to. I don't know if you can hear me.
Your voice is so clear and lovely.
Yes. I have cough. Sorry.
Yeah.
Please, you said something.
Okay.
about during a meeting. During a meeting after the minute is recorded, two people are supposed to adopt it. I was thinking it's the previous meeting that is being adopted. When they schedule a new meeting, is it during that meeting that they adopt the meeting they are in, or is it when they have a new meeting then they would read the old minutes then adopt?
Well, some of all these things mean somebody adopt my meeting. All these things conventional way, or it's not. I've given you the proper way to capture your meeting. There's nothing like adopting a meeting. When you finish your meeting, share the document, share the minutes of the meeting to everybody that attended that meeting. You know, I've been in a setting where after a meeting, the meeting was not even documented. They say, who is going to adopt this meeting? I adopt. Who is going to second? I second. Don't do that. You know, it's not important. Do it professionally. You are a professional. And that is what I expect from you.
Yeah, Z also.
Are you
All right, sir.
Yeah. So I know what you're
Yes,
talking
Z.
about. After a meeting of
Z na
Oman,
niene.
Jane is not part of this meeting, madam. So
Hello. Z.
okay. So that's it. Chineye Rosie, the time is not on our side. So once we capture Christian, okay, G. So we have 3 people we want to capture now. Please don't raise your hand again because we're not going to call you, not because we don't like you, but because of time. So Chineye Rosie.
Good evening, Mr. Charles. Sir, please, it's a quick one. How often do the project manager calls for a meeting? How often should you be calling for a meeting?
As often as possible, you know. So if anytime you will have a project breakdown structure, we have a project plan. So you follow your project plan. There's not me coming here to tell you how many times. It's what your project plan is telling you. That is your compass. Just like you have a compass, you come back and start adding. So I've taught you how to write a project plan. You know your life cycle, all the activities within. I think I shared the project activity sequence. The activity sequence provided even some meetings you need to have that is not some meetings are not just for maybe stakeholders, it may be internal meeting. But the point I'm trying to make is that you have a plan. When you have a detailed project plan, you follow your project plan, then you should know how many times to call a meeting. There are some meetings we call some like that shouldn't even be part of your project plan, like statutory meetings, like RAID meeting where we talk about risk. These are some of the statutory meetings you call, you know. So whatever you feel based on what we've done already, you follow it and you see when you need to call a meeting and when you not. But have you guys got a copy of the activity sequence document, which I told you that I'm the one that generated it, not so such a guide will show you things you need to do, even the meeting. So if the document will keep on refining it, but I cannot tell you exclusively how many times you call a meeting. Are you with me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. And submitting, we have like meeting. We talk about the report, status report. If you are looking at status report, I cannot tell you that every week you must have a status update. Some people might want it in 2 weeks because some stakeholders, they feel it might be choking for you to be coming all the time to give them every week. Some might want it every week. So, like I said, we don't have answer to this. So, but if you are a professional, which you are now, you should be able to figure it out. We'll have Isaac and Evie Quinette. You have a habit of trying to challenge the status quo. And this is I'm the governor here. When I say something, you have to respect it. So, Isaac, you can have the floor. Isaac, Miss Isaac, you're on mute. Isaac, you're on mute. Okay. I think Mr. Isaac is trying to figure himself out. We'll have Christian Wokeji.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Charles.
Yeah,
Good evening, colleagues.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, let me try to be Mr. Charles compliant. You can see me, I've done in my heart, my tap. Okay, we know that we know that stakeholders are very important in whatever project that we are carrying out, because a good number of them, key stakeholders, can make or mar. And we know quite well that a good number of them can equally be very busy. They may have very tight schedule. Then how do we get them to be part of this meeting whenever we have this type of meeting, so that they can be carried along? Since the meeting is for carrying people along, the team members as well as the stakeholders.
Okay. I'm going to give you an example of a meeting. Example of a meeting is stakeholder requirement gathering meeting. When you are trying to gather requirements, you know the stakeholder you're trying to gather requirement from. For instance, you want to gather requirement from the project sponsor. So his availability will determine when the meeting will hold. Are you getting me? You can't put a meeting without first determining his availability. How can you put a meeting while the people you want to meet are on leave? Will they leave the annual leave and come and join your meeting? No. So every meeting, the determinant of a meeting will be the availability of the attendees. No? So that's why you have to plan a meeting. You know, I'm having meeting with you people all the time because I've already agreed. When we are starting, we even before we start this boot camp, we argued. I kind of, negotiated over a period of time. We even have to vote until we agreed. Some people even didn't want it, but the majority accepted. I pleaded. I tried to buy over. That's what called stakeholder buying. You see, when we are starting all these things, when we are starting boot camp, when we are going to be having this class, I try to buy you people. You guys are stakeholders in this boot camp. And I did buy stakeholder buying. Buy-in is trying to convince you people for us to be meeting at a particular time, and everybody agreed. And that's why we'll be having this meeting smoothly. Are you getting me? You people agreed to be available. So that is that is the point I'm making, is the availability of the stakeholders. You have meeting with them when they are available, not when you want. You know, and if he's not,
Thank you very much.
it cannot be so gent. If he's so gent and the stakeholder is not on town, so these are some of the things. So we always try to, when you have a plan, you have to be monitoring availability of stakeholders when you are putting meeting. So these are the things we have to, and everything is not mathematics. So that's where you have to use your influence at times, you know, make them available, convince them how important they need to be there. I've seen a situation where they have to pull a stakeholder out of their leave. They have to come work, though they are on leave. So if you have such influence, you can influence the stakeholder to come out of their leave to attend an important meeting. Are you getting me? So I think I've responded to you,
Yes.
Mr. Christian and Isaac. I'll give you one more try. And yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry, my screen just went off.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Just a quick one. What about meetings that are stand-up meetings that we hold every day, and it's just for 15 minutes, and it just addresses three things: what we did yesterday, what we're doing today, and maybe issues and challenges. Do we still have to make minutes of such?
Of course, very, very important. When we talk about that is in agile environment, in Scrum, such meeting has, before you people start using Scrum, you people have agreed, you know the way the Scrum is structured. So it's structured that we must have a meeting every day. So it's not negotiable. You decided to follow this rule, and you must abide by that rule. So if you are using a conventional project management, which is waterfall, it did not specify for you to have any meeting at any particular time based on the question asked earlier, how many times. If you are using agile environment, by using agile environment, you don't even need to ask how many times, because you know how many specify events. All the events in agile project management is highly specified. You know all the events. We have daily stand-up, we have sprint review, we have sprint retrospective. These are various status meetings you must abide by. Or if you can't abide by it, then you know you are not using agile environment. So, and if you agreed, because agile, you know, stress on consistency. If you decide that your daily stand-up meeting is going to be by 9 a.m., if you start by 9 a.m., you cannot change from 9 a.m. You must be 9 a.m. If you need to change, you must have a reason, an urgent reason, a crucial reason why you must be stressed so much in consistency.
Yeah.
And it must be 15 minutes. So the meeting, the environment is highly structured that if you want to adopt it, everybody have already agreed. You see, some people will say, well, I don't want to work on agile environment. So it has to be agreed. Or if that is what the organization have adopted, that everybody must work on agile environment, you have no say. Or if you don't want to work with the organization. So the meeting minutes is structured in such a way that it has already stated what you need to do. It's already asked you there is already a template in your mind, because it's going to ask you, what did you do the previous day? What are you doing today? What are your challenges? So with that, you already have a template. You don't need any other template like this one, because a template is the system or the framework has created a template for you. You know, so you use that template. All you need to do is when you come, you ask them what they did the previous day, what are they doing today, and what are their challenges. So, and you have to keep record of everything so that tomorrow you know when they had this, because you are capturing challenges as well. You know when they had this challenge, and you know when it was resolved. Once you capture the challenges from them, you as a Scrum Master, you start working immediately to resolve or to mitigate these challenges. So that is it. So the meeting is structured. The meeting has created a template for itself, and if you are abiding by it, you follow it. So sorry, some people might be lost, but we are not. Mr. Isaac is a bit jumping the gun because we are yet to get to agile environment for us to look at all these things. But because I answered this question, because he brought it in a way of meeting, and what we are talking about is meeting.
Thank you, sir. Noted.
Yeah. So, we're already 15 minutes out of our time, and we already agreed that we are going to stop on Isaac. So if you have any more questions, Mr. Ju, Miss Ju, Avi, and Samuel, Ngozika, Margaret, put it on the timeline.
Sorry, Mr. Charles, please. We still don't have the notes for Friday.
I addressed it when I was starting. Right, that is the first thing I craved your indulgence when I was starting, that it has to be sorted as something happened and my workload skyrocketed. You know, but I addressed it. That's the first thing I addressed when we are starting. Yeah. All right.
Please, Mr. Charles, just grant me 1 minute, please.
No, others have tried to. We don't have to get everything all the time, you know. So I mean, that's the way I do. Put it on the timeline. I answer your question all the time. So you can chat me and I'll answer your question if I'm in a good mood. But for tonight, I'm no longer in a good mood.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you guys, and see you tomorrow. And you see, everybody should be warming up. As soon as I'll try to sleep late tonight, so that by tomorrow we should have started creating environments for our various projects, so that we start as soon as possible. So I want at least by Monday, everybody should be starting their kickoff meeting. So use this week, all these things we've been doing. If you need to go get this templates for your kickoff meeting, all this, get yourself ready. We already have project team lead. If they feel they are going to be so important that they won't be able to be writing minutes of the meeting, it's time for you to start selecting people that will be writing minutes of the meeting for you. And I drop my cap again. and good night.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr.
Thank
Thank you,
Charles.
Mr. Charles.
Good night. Thank you.
Please be in a good mood
Thank you,
tomorrow.
sir. Good night.
Mm,
Ó dàbọ̀.
Good night, sir.
Kàchíbọ̀.
okay.
Good night, sir.